Now, why is the FAST Act so critical? Um, and why is it garnering so much attention across the country and other states and other industries as well? So it's really a paradigm shift on how regulations are implemented for the fast food industry, or any industry for that matter. This council is just going to meet, the 10-person council. And again, they are required to meet at least every 6 months. There's no limit on how often they can meet. So they would be able to, if this does become law, implement regulations very quickly and faster than legislation. And as you know, law getting through the legislation does take some time, and it's subject to a lot of public overview, and the legislation just can't act that quickly. So this council could implement regulations a lot more frequently, and it would be a lot more difficult for employers to stay apprised of the regulations as it's changing very quickly coming out of this council. And again, the council would only need 6 out of 10 people to pass regulations, and it wouldn't be a full legislative review like most laws impacting California employers need to go through right now. There'd be less public input as well with this council meeting. So the meetings would be public, it appears, but I think there'd be a lot of backdoor negotiations. And I think a lot of that process would not be in the public light. There'd just be less oversight, given that it's only a 10-person council meeting and implementing these regulations. Now, one thing I wanted to mention, though, too, if this law ever does pass, say, and become law, I think there are some other potential challenges to the law. The big question for me is, can the legislature pass these basic legislative powers off to an unelected council of 10 people? And I think there could be a potential legal challenge to the law, basically saying the legislature can't abdicate its powers on regulating an industry or regulating employers, setting minimum wage, setting these workplace standards off to a 10-person council like this that's unelected. So even if it does become law, I think there's some other potential challenges to it. But it looks like we've got some a good chance to get the law overturned through the referendum process, with all the over 1 million signatures collected in opposition or in support of the referendum to overturn it. It looks like there's good support to get this overturned and knock it out. And also, the nation is looking at this. There's some other states that are looking to copy the legislation. I believe New York and Michigan are looking at similar laws, and they're seeing how this plays out here in California as a test case to see if they should enact it. Other industries could easily see how this gets expanded to other industries outside of just fast food restaurants. I think the first step would be to all restaurants, and then after that into other industries. Also of concern, local cities and counties could copy the legislation and start enacting something like this on a local level. And that is a concern for me, because we're seeing this already on the minimum wage front, paid sick leave front, and there's a lot. It would create a patchwork of different obligations for employers throughout California. So that's something to keep your eye on as well, as this law is being challenged, and as other people and other jurisdictions get the idea to mimic this law potentially going forward.